Hello there, Capricorn, and welcome to your June reading. Great to see everyone, and welcome to the midpoint of the year. I really like this point of the year because when it comes to readings in particular, it gives you a chance to sort of have a clean slate. I treat it almost as if it's January. You can sort of see how far you've come and see what you want to do. Today we're going to try to set you in the right sort of mind so that you can make the most out of whatever comes through. With that being said, as I meditated on your sign, I got a very clear indication this month that balance would be the key thing, trying to keep things even. So your channeled message is to balance, and this balance would go across all parts of your life: your diet, your use of money, the way you're working between home and work, so that work-life balance, and then also what you're doing with work and money in general too. Trying not to go to extremes on anything. So balance overall. And now let's go ahead and go into the main part of the reading, which I know everyone enjoys. We'll pull a Celtic cross, see what the energy is for this month, and then we'll expand the forecast. So for everyone that's new, welcome. I think you'll like the way this is organized, and more importantly, for everyone that comes back month to month, I really appreciate you. So let's go ahead and see all of these cards, and then I will pull the catalyst to really give it overall direction. And for the new folks, the catalyst card is a bonus. It's an oracle card that I pulled that shows not only what ignites the month, but also what ties all of the cards that I'm going to pull today together. And this month I've chosen cards that don't have words, so I'll just be intuiting the meaning for them. Okay, let's see what this is. So this month, it's about support, about feeling, for some of you, that you're protected, that you're okay. There's also issues for some of you from when you were a child, whether it's insecurities that maybe that you weren't cared for enough, that you weren't loved enough, or for some of you maybe overprotected. So what I'd like to encourage you to do as you're becoming an adult, and it doesn't matter what age, whether you're 18 or 88, we still have sort of tie-overs from our family, from our culture, but particularly from when we were kids. So in this month in particular, I want you to try to do what you can to validate whatever it is in your life that needs validation, that you are smart enough, good enough, ready enough to do whatever it is that you need. And if you need it in this moment, I think you're more than enough, and that anybody would be lucky to have you in their life. Okay? So a little validation from me, but do the same validation for yourself and realize that one person's failure to do something, whether it was brother, sister, mother, or aunt, whatever, somebody in your life didn't give you what you needed. Just one person, they were probably flawed. Just like everyone else is, they were working on themselves. All right, let's take a look now at all of the cards for this month. I like your center card, and it really does speak to the channeled information, all about balance. Balance and choices with the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles basically tells you that you have more than enough, but you have to make choices because you don't have excess. So this is not a card of, riches. It's a card of basically more than breaking even, but you need to save and invest and spend with intelligence. Also, it's a card to say no, because perhaps you're a caretaker of a large family and everybody wants something. This is about prioritizing what needs to happen. The same thing happens if you're in a corporation, or if it's just you. We all have moments where we're like, oh, I really need this, or this. You have to say no to yourself. So it doesn't matter if you're running your own life, running others, or running a corporation. It's all about choices this month. Your center card is crossed by the Emperor. The Emperor is about being in control of things. So one thing in particular, whenever I see this card, it's about not handing off major responsibility or decisions. I'm a big fan of delegating when appropriate, but this card is saying don't hand off too much, basically. You want to be signing the checkbook. You want to be making decisions. You want to have a stake in major decision-making processes in your life and in your business. Also with the Emperor, this has to do sometimes with an older person in your life, usually about 5 to 7 years difference at least. It can definitely be above a decade for some. It can be an authority figure. The crossing your money card. So the influence of this person is about your moderation. So if you feel that that person's too strict, you need to find your own way to find moderation. And it may well be like a parent that's trying to control you, because I was seeing family ties here. So whether it's about inheritance, whether it's about them not agreeing with the way you make your money or make a living, you just have to become clear and controlled in your life. The Emperor, if this is you, has no problem in the way they run things. They know some decisions may not be popular, but a good leader moves forward, listens, but moves forward at a certain point, because you can't do everything to please everybody. So take that piece for yourself. In the deep past, we see the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is generally a good card here. The reversal of this one, though, is saying that there's a challenge in not taking things too personally, not holding on to things too much. And I just told you that you really couldn't do delegation this month, but I would say if there's an overall habit in your life to try to control things and do everything, that can also be a little off-putting. So I want you to participate in big, major, decision-making process in your life, but not every single little decision. So this card is speaking to like micromanagement. So it's very important that you know the overall direction of your life, of your family, of your company. But do you have to know how many staplers were purchased this month? Probably not. So that's where I think the difference is. You still sign the big budget, but you don't need to have every little tiny thing. There's a balance. We're talking about balance. Make sure everything balances out, but don't second guess simple things, and don't overdo how much you have to do. So like if you're cleaning a house, ask for help. You don't have to do everything in your life. And if you're already pretty balanced, then this can be one about offering help to others. Because sometimes with the reversal of this card, there may be someone in your life that's afraid to ask for help. So you're going to have to decide how that best works for you. But whether you're taking on too much or maybe not giving enough, balance that out as it feels appropriate to you. It's very it's very interesting that as I'm looking at what affects the overall month, the overall energy of the beginning of the months, we have Justice, which is the scales. With this word balance coming in so much and the scales in reverse, you may also have a very strong Libra in your midst here that may need some assistance in their life, because the scales to me immediately read as Libra. So if there's a strong Libra in your life, or whether it's ascendant or sun sign, you'll know how to work with that person. They're going to need your assistance, and they may be bad at asking for help. So that's some of what I'm seeing with those two cards. Now let's get out of that and into the possibilities. Your crowning card is the Six of Swords. So some of you may be traveling for work this month. There may also be a desire to kind of like escape, to get away. And I would say with your budget situation, maybe make this month about looking for deals, plans. Go on Expedia, look for, if you have a rewards card, how far in advance can you book and how much can you save, and find the enjoyment in getting the best deal possible. Still sort of dreaming about the vacation, but this month is more about the planning than the doing, and you see this person sort of pushing off but not actually out in the water. So plan ahead. Maybe for later this year, we're looking at like the third quarter to the fourth quarter of the year, so late summer, early like fall. And for those of you in the southern hemisphere, I'm thinking like August to December would be a good time to take the vacation. All right, we have the Fool card here in reversed. I had to look for a second because it almost looked like the Wheel of Fortune, but it had the 0. So with the Fool card in reverse, definitely a little bit of resistance for change around the middle of the month, around the 16th and the 17th. And so you're going to have to tune in to your own sort of gut and intuition and think, am I ready for this, or is it just fear? The fact that it's reversed speaks to probably fear. I will say this, though, there could be a delay in a move for some of you, or a delay in if you've already been trying to take a trip, whether it's for work or pleasure. I see some sort of interference in that, and those months that I gave you to think about, basically from the last 2 to 3 months of the year, are going to be the best, but you could probably extend it out to the last 4 months of the year. So yeah, October, November, December, great. You can do September if you need to as well. Overall, money seems to be a little bit of a stress for you this month. There may be an expenditure that you did not expect, major car payment that you didn't, or repair or something like that you didn't anticipate. And so the money for a moment is a little bit of a blip on the radar. Some of you actually may lose employment. Maybe if there was a short-term contract, the contract ends. The good news for you is that I do see an Ace of Pentacles at the end of the month. Let me just double check, because yes, Ace of Pentacles. And what I like about this one is there's a lot of growth associated with this. So you might have to wait, though, about 1 month if you are in a position of transitioning out of a job or trying to get something new. So do what you can to try to protect your finances for the next 3 or 4 weeks so that everything is under control. When I look at your environment card, there is a general caution to try not to get too entangled in other people's drama. The Five of Swords is about needing to watch your back, about for many of you being working in an environment where not everything is what it appears to be. Sometimes people are trying to say or do things that have ulterior motives. So you just want to be careful. Try to not say anything that you would regret. Try not to just assume that everything you do and say is going to be shared with others, and then therefore only do kind things to others this month, and I think you'll be fine. When I'm looking at what's going to pull you into a positive trajectory with your money and your work, we have the Three of Pentacles, which is a really good card for those of you that might be either thinking about higher education, finishing a degree that you didn't finish before, whether it's it can be a GED, or it can be going to community college, or again going to graduate school or something. There's some sort of higher education or expansion that could be happening for you. And for those of you that are completely done with school but just want to get ahead, it's about the work. The Three of Pentacles is always about being recognized for doing great work. And I like the contrast. I'll pull the camera down so you can see the position between these two cards. But we have the Five of Swords, which is about drama in your midst, whether it's in your co-workers or your loved ones. And the Three of Pentacles is about, like, you see this person marching away from the drama. And the suggestion here is to just get back to work. If I had to say it in a sort of, very straightforward way, it's walk away, focus on your what really matters, yourself, your life, your family. And in doing so, although it's not happening as soon as you'd like, we have Ace of Pentacles reversed, it will eventually improve. But with both of your money cards in the present and future sort of being reversed, and the Six of Pentacles here, there still is that general note about budgeting, that you're going to be able to weather the storm, that it might be uncomfortable, but I think that you have the skills to do so. So whatever the storm is, whether it's just expenses or shift in work, or maybe having to reschedule a vacation or a trip that you were planning, you're going to be able to navigate this. Just remember, it's all for the best. It's about balance. Now, I will say one thing, because with Justice reversed, some of you may be deciding to leave a relationship, moving, because if you read a different trajectory for this as like a separation card here, this Six of Pentacles is about splitting things. This Emperor card is about staying strong with what you need. So if you need to leave a job or a relationship, be very straightforward. Make sure that everyone's observing either the letter of the law, the contract, and feels like for some of you there's no other way than out, and it's happening faster than you want in this particular situation. But I do feel like for you the arguing is probably not worth it, and this is why there's some stress with money, but you have the skills to land on your feet, and you are sort of cutting your losses and walking away. So I do see that energy for some of you. So if you need to walk away from an uncomfortable situation, you'll be okay, but it's not fun in the process, and it probably wasn't at the top of the list of things that you were intending on doing this particular month. But for those of you that are okay with your life, what I see here is a general suggestion not to travel at the moment, instead to put your energy into work, to work on your budget. If you don't have one, create a budget. And the other thing for you is to really work on finding activities and friends that are not pulling you down. So if you have anyone around your life that is just negative, this is about walking away from negativity and embracing more positive ways of thinking and more positive activities. So let's now expand your forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, and see what messages come through. So your message for health this month is ebb and flow, which continues with the whole theme of balance for you. And what I like with ebb and flow, particularly when it comes to your diet, to the way that you're exercising and living your life. It's basically saying there's going to be good and bad days. You want to try not to go too far in the extremes. So in regards to your food and your sugar intake, really trying not to overdo it. Looking at this, it's a very water-centric card. So I want you to make sure that you're not over or under hydrating, and that what you're putting in your body is also not flushing it with sort of high sugar, high caffeine, or high alcohol content. It really needs to be even, and there you go. Using water to sort of be that neutralizing force this month will be very helpful as well. The other thing is, it's not just about drinking water. You can also eat foods that are high in water content, something like a cucumber or watermelon or something like that. But talk to your dietitian if you have any questions, but I think that's the main thing, is more balance and really making sure that your hydration is appropriate to your body type and to your needs, and that you aren't overdoing it with anything that could dehydrate you, particularly caffeine and energy drinks. Okay, so we're now looking at your wealth card to see what's coming through for finance, for money, etc. And we have that your wealth card is actually going to be influenced heavily by those you love, particularly for those of you that are in a long-term relationship. And so either your loved one may need your support, or you may be in a sort of part of your mind right now that wants to spend more on other people. Just remember, it's all about balance, everything in moderation. It should be fine. The other thing, when we're looking at wealth and going more abstract, this is about doing what you love and your power coming from the passion in your life. Sometimes you don't have to put the energy into some other person. Love and that passion that you get in your first or second chakras, you can actually put this into a project, a work project. So basically, boiled down into simple terms, do exactly that which brings you the most passion, joy, and inspiration in your life. This is what's going to make you most successful as well. All right, so now let's take a look at we looked at health, wealth. Let's look at love, even though love came through in your wealth card. And your message for love this month is increased awareness. And we have Master Buddha, deep connection, trust your inner voice. So if there is a relationship, we were looking here that you feel like you might need to get out of, or if there's a change that you need to have, or even just a trial separation, because that's what this can also mean. Like maybe you need a break from a place that you're working, or friendship, or whatever it is. Listen to yourself, trust your own connection, and make time for quiet space and contemplation in your life. That's really what this is about. Not just yoga, not just meditation, but just sometimes taking a walk, or having a chance to think through things. So for each of us, that's going to manifest differently, but space, quiet time, meditation, definitely going to help you this month. Finally, let's see what the Archangel Michael cards here have to say about your destiny. And a reminder, what I like about the destiny card, and also just destiny in your life, is some things are sort of set there by us on a higher level, but most of it, it's up to you. You get to change, you get to adjust your destiny as you see fit. And this card is telling you to go forward fearlessly, to not be afraid of going in the direction of love and your life's true purpose. I love that. And so the main message here is not to operate from a place of blocking, reducing, or limiting your own potential. And we have sometimes, as a whole, as a society as a whole, a tendency to sort of put ourselves in a position of, I'm not ready for this, I can't do this, I shouldn't do this. It's not. This is saying, just go forward, go towards what you are really passionate about. We talked about that a little bit earlier here, and then nothing can stop you. And this is the hesitation here that I saw with the Fool. I don't want you to hesitate. So let's go ahead and review everything that we've looked at. Your channeled information this month was however it feels best and most appropriate in your life to balance, but I really think it's across all sectors: health, wealth, love, and destiny. And then your catalyst card this month is reminding you that although you may not have received everything you needed as a child, you have everything within your soul already to do it. Basically, this card reminds me of you sort of embracing your inner child. So it's like giving yourself a hug, an energetic hug, and thinking, I've done amazingly well considering this, and this, okay? And then as we look at all of the cards this month, center card reminding you to be smart about financial limits and saying yes and no when appropriate. I reminded you also to make sure that you were present at the table for major discussions and decisions about your life, about your business. A tendency here may be to need to get out of something that is restrictive in your life, whether it's a relationship that's holding you back, or something else that's sort of keeping you from doing what you want. So some of you may be leaving and moving on. Others, it's a general note just saying, again, to balance things out. Delays in travel are to be expected, but not to be stressed out about. Think about planning it for the last 4 months of the year. There's going to be much more luck then. For those of you that are feeling good about your life, there still may be a tendency to want to sort of move or get out there. So it would be better to do a smaller trip if you need to do something, but again, a caution when it comes to travel. Money is not necessarily going in the direction you want this month, but I see it improving in the months to come, particularly with the Three of Pentacles here. So be patient and make your plans for the future, and don't worry so much about this month. Know that the changes and the situations that you're going through are temporary. And just a general note here to be very careful and to walk away from situations that are no longer bringing you joy in your life. As we expand the forecast, general note with your health to make sure that the fluid intake makes sense. If there's anything that is high in caffeine, high in alcohol, that this is a month for you to reduce those and to put better, more pure substances in your body. It's all about evening things. When it comes to making money, do what you love. When it comes to spending money, spend wisely on those around you. Try not to overdo it. Even if you love someone, spending isn't necessarily how you have to demonstrate your love, affection, or your loyalty to someone. So when we're looking at your health, we're looking at your love, because we got these two very close to each other. When we're looking at your love situation, it's about your increased awareness, about paying attention to the little details, and that's only going to come through meditation and through sometimes quiet time. So make sure that you're having enough time to just take care of yourself and to sort things out. And finally, don't be afraid. Move forward. Go for whatever it is in your life that you're really interested in doing. With all that being said, that's it for this month. I hope I was able to bring insight and hopefully peace of mind for you. The main notes that I got were an overall change in your money situation, one that's going to eventually improve, but there's some balancing that needs to happen. As we just said, balance across the board. Really, when you're looking at what you're putting into your body as well, particularly the fluid intake. Other than that, I think you have what you need for this month to be successful. If you ever need a one-on-one appointment to talk at greater depth about what's going on in your life, I'd be happy to do so, and I'll post a link at the end of the video to learn more about that. A great way to stay in touch is to subscribe to the channel. Just a note that YouTube's changed the subscription technology a bit. So if you want to get an email or a notification, you need to opt in also to the little bell icon, which is notifications. But otherwise, you can hit subscribe just to sort of see it when you come to the YouTube page, the main page. Otherwise, I have a newsletter. Feel free to subscribe to that. Once a month, I send out an email, and everybody gets a notification of first of all, that the videos are live, and then a link straight to their sign. So that's a very easy way to stay in touch. I'm also on besides YouTube, I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So join me on as few or as little as you'd like, and I'd be happy to have you join. Finally, thank you so much for all of the great comments, the likes, and the subscribes. Please keep those coming. It does mean a lot. And if this helped you and you want to support me, there's a link in the description below so that you can give a donation if you'd like. Otherwise, I'll see you again in 1 month's time, and I wish you all the best. I hope you find that balance that you're seeking this month and the success. Remember, don't be afraid. I see good things in the future for you, even if they're slightly delayed with money and work. So remember to do what you love. That's really the key, and that's the secret to life, I think, actually. If you can combine your passion with your work, then it doesn't feel like work anymore. All right. Wishing you all the best. Namaste. Sat Nam. I'll see you again in a month's time. Bye-bye.